Yo, what's good? Welcome to the Addicted to the King podcast. I'm your host, Stu. We cover things all cryptocurrency, NFTs, metaverse, all money-making opportunities in the crypto space. I'm just going to let everybody introduce themselves one by one.
What's up, y'all? My phone, go ahead.
Alright, this is DeFi Tycoon Z, and we're here to talk about metaverses today.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Professor J, coming from New York. Hit y'all with some metaverse info.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely going to be covering this metaverse, this real estate, NFTs, just because just as in the beginning phases of the metaverse, I know they kind of compare just how the metaverse is becoming like a trendy topic among people. Is kind of just in the crypto space, and you know, they kind of compared this time to the equivalent of like Bitcoin back in like 2013 as far as this time in the metaverse, is because we're super early when it comes to this specific, I guess, industry within crypto and just like how everything's evolving. But with the metaverse, there's going to be a lot of great monetization and money-making opportunities, whether it be via passive income or just being able to buy your land at a low price and then later on selling it. It's going to be essentially just like real estate. Like the land is going to be just as valuable that you get in the real world is going to be just as valuable in the digital world. And some people even make the argument just with the digital land, it's just going to be even more valuable because it's just unlimited. So it's just so much more that you can do with it just because there's no limits to how you can build out your ecosystem. But we're just going to go into like different metaverses and stuff. But I know y'all just for like an absolute beginner, just giving them like a intro just into like the metaverse, like the rundown.
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly throw stuff in there. You know, metaverse topic can be so broad. You know, when you see, we're going to really cover a lot of stuff in the metaverse that's dealt with on the blockchain. Most people, when they hear about metaverse, they probably think about Facebook, and you know, they just recently, you know, over the last couple of years, changed their name to Meta, and I believe, you know, they probably want to be one of the leading companies in the metaverse, or with their metaverse, whatever their version of the metaverse is going to be. And so that, you know, that world probably will be a lot different from, you know, what we're explaining right now for what we have right now. But like Stu mentioned, like the possibilities are endless going forward. You know, with buying land, what you can do with that land. You know, there's also opportunities for. I think we're going to be leading towards most people just being in a virtual world, even if that's work from home. Or if they're going to be, you know, their kids are going to be in school, you know, in a virtual world, in some form of metaverse. But you know, I think we're going to mainly cover like a lot of the games, the real estate aspects, you know, things that you can do with that, how to make some money, and you know, cover most of that, you know, in detail.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just piggybacking off of Jay and everything. And we probably, what I also want to go into is what you should look for, or what I look for. I'll go over what I look for when I'm entering a metaverse project, and the key points and what you're looking for in the team and the economy and stuff like that too. Because there's going to be thousands of them, and you don't want to just jump into every single project.
Yeah, it's gonna be like just something to grasp. It's gonna be like a concept for everybody to just get into, because I don't know everything about the metaverse. And like you said, Z, there's not gonna be just one particular like central hub for the metaverse. There's gonna be multiple metaverses and kind of just like universes or planets, and you can go from this planet to this planet, and like, you know, just hanging out in the metaverse. I mean, just even this, you could say this is like just a basic version, just because of the metaverse, as far as we're communicating just via online, and then you just watching this. So just imagine if we was actually had our avatars, we was running around, and then like Jay mentioned, we're having meetings in the metaverse and different things, and you know, you can see as far as like my hologram, and I could be there just in real time, and it's just gonna be just so much endless possibilities with the metaverse and like how they're going to put it into play to where you can go to like a whole country and you can actually see that just from like a digital world. So if you've never been to Hawaii, you can go to Hawaii in the metaverse. So it's going to be just unlimited on just how there is. And they're not just gaming platforms for the metaverse, but there's also going to be like social metaverses for like social media. So like it's going to be like Facebook, but on steroids. So it's just a lot of different things. You going to say something? Oh, I didn't know I cut somebody off. But yeah, but we're gonna get into like our top metaverses. So like what's some of y'all's top metaverses that y'all looking at as far as like specifically for y'all and y'all's like portfolio?
You wanna go first? You wanna go ahead first, go.
Alright, no problem. So like I'll start off with one of my first favorite, top favorite actually, Earth 2. Been invested in this one almost 2 years now. It's been over a year. So like they pretty much what Earth 2 is, their goal is to become the Google of the metaverse. What they've done is created a metaverse based on merit off of our Earth right now. And they sell properties based on 10 square meter tiles on Earth. So you can just buy whatever tiles all over Earth, whether it's ocean property or properties in Africa, America, whichever. Prices range based on the popularity or how much people are buying into that land or everything. So right now, you already know U.S. is going to be the highest priced properties out there right now. At the moment, you're able to. So I'm gonna start with why I like it. Earth 2 is doing something different. They're starting off different more than other projects. Most projects are starting off by building the UI because people want to see what they're going to have and everything. Earth 2 started with building features and all the assets, and it's just building all of that out. They haven't even released the token out on the market yet, but we're able to earn it within the game. So now what they're going to be as they build out the features, they'll be adding it to the blockchain, and they've already announced their partnership with Polygon. So it'll be built on the Polygon blockchain. With that afterwards, I believe that they'll be releasing the UI aspects, and they've already started showing us some pretty much examples of what the buildings and the vehicles that we'll be able to have and build. What I like about this also is that these buildings will be able to have advertising space in, just like a city in like Times Square and have your billboards. But it also allows people to come in and advertise on that, and you collect the advertising income from that too. Properties and stuff, it'll be an inclusive type metaverse. So your avatars from other type of metaverse or NFT projects will be able to walk around and join in on the metaverse. So like, I'll be able to build something for like an Addicted to the Game hangout. And if y'all have your avatars, you can just come in and hang out, and we'll be able to just chill, hang out in a lounge or something and have a podcast, like you said, like we video chatting here with that. At the moment, you're allowed to build something called hollow buildings. They're like storage buildings for like your resources. So like whether it's gold, oil, water, certain things, so you'll be able to hold those. Your land is kind of like staking, so you're earning essence, which is the actual governance token from it every time you hold in that. And what else? So yeah, so like they so as you come out, so if you want more information on it, you just go to their main website, earth2.io, and you can go to their blog, and they consistently update that. And you'll be able to see their documents with that as well and see what they have planned for the future. Also, like their YouTube channel, you'll see their vlogs and be able to see more of what they'll be bringing up. I have a lot of property within that, and I plan on building more onto it. I don't want to reveal exactly where my property is because I'm still not finished buying up property, and I don't want anybody buying up in places that I'm still planning on buying. At the moment, they've have sold over 100 million tiles so far, and like I think $14 million have been paid out to players. So the way people are earning on that right now, your properties produce essence, gems, and resources, and those are able to be traded on the market right now. Once essence is released onto exchanges, they're more than likely going to allow us to use essence to purchase and exchange as that rather than the US dollar. At this moment, they have the essence coin and they have e-dollars, which is pegged to the US dollar. So they have that as a stable coin within the ecosystem. And the properties are your NFTs, and so are your jewels. The jewels can be crafted to have higher tiers, so it can find more resources for you, so that you can create more. And they've already announced in the future, if for those of us with huge properties, we'll be able to have people come on and grab our resources for us and gather them for us and pay them through there, kind of like having a scholarship type thing. They've acquired. They've already started acquiring other games. So I know that they got like massive gaming, so like the drone strike game. So we'll be able to fly drones around. And the massive thing, my favorite thing that I really like, is that the former senior Binance director Omar Rahim joined Earth-2 team as a strategic advisor for the economics. So he was done with Binance and came over to Earth-2 to help build that up as a advisor on that. So building up a team, the team is strong, the project is really strong and completely like they're building slowly, but it's a really strong project and has a strong following as well too, and continues to keep growing as time goes by. So Earth-2 is one of my favorites. I'll let y'all go ahead before I go on with another one.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of metaverses out there, like I mentioned before. I know I'll get into some of my picks. I know for me, as far as metaverses, I know I'm in like Clay Nation. I know that's like a project in Cardano. I know as far as Clays, they're doing Baked Nation, which is going to be like a Snoop Dogg metaverse. And then within that, he's going to be releasing unreleased music on his metaverse. And then they got different metaverses within Clays, but I know Clays is like they call it like a blue chip. It's one of the top projects on Cardano. But it's a lot of things you're going to be able to equivalent Clay token. They're going to have different games. I know another, far as just giving like a rundown, I know I'm into like Boss Planet. I know Boss Cat Rocket Club. That's an NFT. As far as I'm into, as far as a current holder and just everything they got going on, I know with Boss Cat, Boss Planet Land, I know they're doing partnerships with Manny Pacquiao and they're doing partnerships with Baron Davis. So they're going to have certain districts. So in districts, they're going to have District 1, 2, and depending on where you buy your land, which depending on like where you get it, it'll be certain prices and certain tiers. If you want it near, you know, Baron Davis basketball gymnasium on the metaverse, then that's going to come at a premium. Just anything like you would compare it on real land. So it does matter where you get it. I just want to put that out there. It does matter like where you get your land to a degree about how much traffic. That way, if you got so much traffic on your land, people might be like, hey, I want to advertise. You're getting a lot of advertise. The way people are coming in when you got your, I don't know, like the equivalent of when you deploy, when you come into the game, that area that you might get might be a central hub for a lot of traffic. So people might pay you advertising space or rental. They'll give you so much like cryptocurrency or money per month just based on where you position yourself with that land. But I know with Boss Planet, going back to that, they got partnerships with Baron Davis and Manny Pacquiao, so they're doing like a sports metaverse, and then you're going to be able to do stuff within the casino. I know they got that in other metaverses where you can, you know, gamble within the casino, would put up your real money and your real fiat and crypto money. So it's just like unlimited. As far as that, those are two projects I'm in. And then like another project is Realm. Realm is like a mobile metaverse, and I think this is more going to be tailored just toward like just a general mass of people, just because a lot of these metaverses that you're getting into or to play, you have to have, you know, a certain computer, or a lot of these are going to be built on the browser, but just having like a PC or everything like that, It will be beneficial to you on the metaverse, but I like Realm because this is going to be targeted to the everyday user because everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has, an iPhone or Android, Samsung 20, whatever they got out right now. But it's going to be where you can play games, you can collect NFTs, be able to sell those NFTs on the market. You can connect with other players. So it's kind of like a social metaverse. It's kind of reminds me of like a Roblox type of concept, which Roblox even has its own stock. So I mean, that just could show you that alone shows you the potential of like metaverses, how people are creating their own economies. But it's just a mobile metaverse. It's gonna be like social, so it's just kind of like bridging that real world utility into like the digital world, and they're gonna have like games as far as you could play, and then it's just kind of like a social ecosystem and structure, how it's like social to earn. So just being out there social, like Z was saying, having the central hub, hanging out, messaging people. As you message people, then you earn currency within the game, which you can transfer out in the fiat. So it's like, it's actually a benefit to you to be social. It's not just like, oh, I make a post on Facebook, I get a lot of likes, or I get a lot of retweets, or I get a lot of hearts on Instagram. It's like you're going to be getting monetized and compensated for that, for being social, for comedy, and for engaging. So it's just a lot of different things to look out for. I know one of my last few projects was Blocktopia. I know Blocktopia is like a project people get into. I know it's backed by the Polygon network. It's like a virtual world. I know it's like it's made out of a 21 level skyscraper building. It's 21. It's in comparison to 21 million Bitcoin. That's all that's existed for the Bitcoin. There's no other Bitcoin is going to be made or anything like that as far as mine. But Blocktopia is also just a metaverse you can get to. It's like a social metaverse where you can just, again, establish your ecosystem on there. So there's going to be many like options to do that. You could generate through multiple revenue streams with Blocktopia, whether it's real estate. You could do passive income through staking. If people like, hey, you got this land at this certain spot, can we advertise on your land? Or can we, have like a restaurant on your land? Like Wendy's makes you an offer and they be like, we want to advertise, we want to have something where you can order a burger through the metaverse. I mean, it's going to be that crazy. It sounds like such a far-fetched concept as far as us talking about the metaverse and like all these terminologies and how we're, pitching this stuff together. But in 10 years, it's going to be a thing. That's why I said we're so early in the metaverse compared to how I compare it to Bitcoin in 2013, where you could get Bitcoin less than, $500. I mean, if everybody knew what they knew then, everybody be buying Bitcoin. Everybody do it. But that's kind of like the same element that we are just in the metaverse. So this is going to be like, and this is going to be like a social kind of eco structure. So there's going to be like many buying and leasing and selling virtual real estate. Like I said, you can earn the token utility just with advertising. They're going to have games on there. So, and even with Blocktopia, if you go on the website, there was even bidding on a Lamborghini in the metaverse, that whoever wins this bid or submits their email or whatever information they're wanting, you can actually win a free Lambo from the metaverse that will get like delivered or just shipped to your house or whatever. That's the type of things that they're doing. It's going to be that, like I mentioned, that real world utility back to the digital world utility. Is going to tie in both together. And then like my last pick would be like NFT worlds. I know NFT worlds is just like it's more of a Minecraft type of feel with the metaverse. You could build through that metaverse. You could play and explore. I know that'd be like an easier transition as far as gamers. I know you could play NFT through like a Microsoft account, I believe. And just being able to connect and just play through your console. So that's just an easier transition, but you could build like a metaverse ecosystem, just be able to do the same things on the previous metaverses, advertise, rent, those type of things. So I would definitely I'll leave all the links and even the ones that Z said previously. I'll leave all these metaverses below. But there's just a lot of options. But I would just say, just be curious and just explore. Just look up different metaverses. You know, maybe the ones that I said didn't resonate with you, and then maybe some that Z said might have resonated. Look those up. You know, check out their Twitter, check out their website, see what they got offering, see if they have free incentives to where, like, you never know. You make a move today, it could pay off 5 years from now. So, yeah, I mean, that's my top picks.
Yeah, I get. Also, you know, I have one of my favorites that I frequently go into, and I try to buy up, you know, what I can. And that project is called Upland. You know, UPLAND. And similar to Earth 2, they also, you know, plot out actually trying to plot the whole world. Right now, they only have available maybe a dozen different cities, you know, like 5 boroughs in New York, San Francisco, LA, a city in New Jersey, New Orleans, Chicago, a few other places. And they have, you could actually buy an address, you know, in their metaverse. And these addresses will be plotted out just like the address of your home or your building. So you could buy your actual home in this game, or if you have a building or whatever, or even other structures or properties that are around you that you know. And that's what the favorite thing about that game I like, because you can purchase these properties, which are considered NFTs in the game. And this game is on the EOS blockchain, by the way. So you can purchase these properties in the game. You can rent them out. And honestly, it's not like you're really renting it out yourself. Once you purchase it, rent automatically comes in the form of their in-game currency called UPX. Now, UPX is sort of pegged. 1,000 UPX equals, you know, $1, and so on and so forth. So, you know, you can purchase UPX in the game, use that to purchase properties. When you purchase properties, these properties earn UPX right away. Every 3 hours, you'll be earning UPX. Each property you purchase at mint price, you'll be earning at the current rate about 14%, and that's at minimum for the certain properties. What I like about the game is certain properties in certain neighborhoods, like in real life, that determines the value of these properties. So, for example, Manhattan, San Francisco has the most expensive properties in the game, and just like in real life, you know, it rings true for the properties that they have. So, you know, you'll see that in the game, reflected in the game with how the property values there, compared to like if you go somewhere like Bronx, New York, or, you know, Watts, LA. You know, those properties are, you know, a lot cheaper. I've seen properties in the game going for as cheap as about $3. Some properties, you know, going for as high as about $2,000, $3,000. These are at mint price. Once people purchase these properties, they definitely shoot up in value. So you can come to the game, you might see something, and, you know, it's probably being sold for 10, 20, 100 extra price. So, you know, definitely that's something to take, you know, watch out for when going to the game. And again, also, like I said, you can buy and hold to get rent. Also, you can buy and flip. So that's another fast way to increase your earnings within the game that a lot of people like to do. You know, my strategy is different. You know, I try to buy, and I'm trying everything I've bought, I've held. One thing you can do though that some people do is cash out of the game. So that's one feature they have that a lot of games haven't, you know, maybe figured out yet. But you can purchase properties after holding it for about a week or so, depending on the property. You'll be able to cash out in actual U.S. dollars, you know, transfer that into your bank account. Their in-game currency is not on the it's not tradable, but you can always have the option to sell for the in-game currency or USD. They also have another in-game currency called Spark token. You can earn that Spark token by doing various things like what they call treasure hunts. That's the one in-game feature you can do by, you know, running around the game with your avatar and looking for different treasures. And these treasures you can earn more UPX, you can earn Spark token, or you might earn, you know, various NFTs that they have within the game. Other than properties, it might be a different block explorer, or they have partnerships with like NFL PA, where you might get an NFL NFT, and you can, you know, put that, you can sell that in the game, or you can put that on one of your properties or inside of one of your property when that comes in the future. They also plan on adding cars and adding people in the game. So, you'll have people be able to, play in the game as actual avatars, and, they'll have they're going to need somewhere to stay. And speaking of that, you'll be able to, you're also able to build structures on top of your properties. So those can be small ranch houses, single family houses, or tall, like hotel style buildings, or even like a nice big mansion, if your property, size can fit it. And, those increase the value of your property, or those help for in the future when they add people, them having somewhere to stay. I think I mentioned already, you're going to have cars, and that's going to help out because in the game, if you want to move around, especially going from city to city, you have to either take the train or the bus, or the plane. They even have a Hyperloop, in I think California or San Francisco. Depends on where they actually have it in real life. So adding cars is definitely going to help because people won't have to rely on using the bus or the train because that actually costs to move around in the game. So it's plenty of features with this game. My favorite features: buying properties, earning UPX. Every other day I go in, I see I have more UPX, so I can either take that and purchase more properties, or I can purchase sell a property for USD and cash out. But again, I'm looking at this game for 5-10 years to come. They've only come out with like maybe less than 1% of what they plan to come out with. Depending on when you listen to this, it's probably going to be after their recent drop. But we're recording this on a Thursday, June 10th. Tomorrow, actually in about an hour or so, they're gonna be dropping Las Vegas. So for people that are familiar with Las Vegas, that's a nice opportunity to get in on some properties at mint price. Recent area they opened up was Queens, maybe about a month ago. Still a lot of properties available over there. That's actually where I'm trying to build up a node, which helps out with, controlling that neighborhood, controlling the floor price, and you actually could probably, in the future, potentially earn more APY on those properties or more rent, so to speak, on those properties. But yeah, it is plenty of stuff that, goes along with this game. Maybe in the future I'll, do a more deep dive on this game, if you guys are interested. But definitely check out the show notes if you want. There'll be a link in there. If you guys decide to check it out, that link will actually reward you with more UPX. With some UPX, depending on how much you put in. So I definitely advise, maybe check that out or any other metaverses that, you've heard mentioned today on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of them. I can barely keep up my damn self. But, yeah. Z, you said you had, like, another metaverse you wanted to, like, touch a bit on?
Yeah, only because I'll touch a bit on it only because it's not too much information released about it, but it definitely is hot. But real quick with Earth 2, there are if you do decide to look into it, don't base your purchases based on buildings or historical land marks or anything because they're gonna wipe all of that. They're going to put in a terrain builder so you'll be able to actually build up your land and add more trees and stuff like that. So all those buildings, everything is going to be wiped out. So don't base it off of that. Base it off of where you want to be and how you want to build the world as you feel like seeing it. But the other metaverse that you guys that I was going to tell you about is Human Park. I know a lot of people see it like mostly as a game that's about to be put out. But it's definitely going to be a little more than a game. What they're doing is putting out a game feature as a beginning, which is what a lot of metaverses are pretty much doing. They're gamifying their project to be able to bring more people on and build more interest within it. But what Human Park is also building is an inclusive space for other NFTs to come in. So you'll have projects being able to build their games within Human Park, and you'll have projects that's building to touch on like the other metaverses you said to build up like their stores, be able to order food, be able to have clothing boutiques, to build up whatever you can imagine. Human Park is strict on saying that they're not a metaverse. They don't want to define themselves as a metaverse, but that's exactly what they are. They want us to define what it is. And it's starting off with their avatars, their OG avatars, their Genesis avatars, but they do plan on releasing more avatars. Not sure in what capacity or how, but I do know that they plan on also allowing other avatars to come into the space. The Bored Apes will be one of them, and the Tribex avatars will be definitely one of them, and I believe Goats. I apologize, I don't remember the name of the community completely, but I know it's a Goat community. But like that, and I believe their first game is they released a sneak peek. It's going to be a battle royale type game. So I do believe that they will have land sales like you're seeing with other projects in the future, just not showing what capacity. The first game, besides their own game, they're going to implement, include Zed Run into Human Park as well too. So I'm curious to see. They've been hinting at other like real world games and movies. They've partnered with movie studios as well too. And they've been hinting at certain games like Grand Theft Auto and Halo. So being able to see those game companies build their games on the Human Park platform or Metaverse is going to be a whole nother level too as well. So that's all I got to say with Human Park because there's still not that much information on it. But you can see more on them on their OpenSea official OpenSea page and their Twitter and Discord and humanpark.io.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's just a lot to just take in. I could imagine just from a beginner's perspective, I know you're probably just like, wow, this is a lot of information. This is a lot to take in as far as just so many metaverses. Like, which one do I jump into? Like I said before, it's not something that's just going to be like, this video is just going to teach you everything that you need to know about the metaverse. I mean, there's so many elements in the metaverse that we can't, cover everything in just one video. We had to make a part 2, even a part 3 to this. So it's just a lot of things to cover. So don't feel bad just listening or watching if you don't get everything that we're saying, or it might not click and everything, just because just a lot of things in the metaverses are still developing. A lot of these, things like Z said, that game is not even out yet, and just even some stuff that I mentioned, like those metaverses are not in real time. So it's just a lot, like I mentioned before, it's just in the beginning stages. But I know just lastly, I wanted to get into like what's y'all's like future predictions like on the metaverse, because to me, I see it getting like crazy as far as just the things that's going to be happening. And there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people that just be like, oh, the metaverse, that's just for people that, they just trapped. They're not going to the real world. I mean, they said the same thing about social media. Oh, social media is for kids. Not everybody's on here. They said everything about the .com era or whatever, the internet. What is that? There's always going to be naysayers just when we go to another echelon as far as, new technologies and the way society's norms. Just because they'll say, oh, that's taboo, that's played out or whatever, like ain't nobody gonna be on there, and then everybody's on there. So like the metaverse is just next in line as far as those things. But as far as what is y'all's like future predictions as far as like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now, like the metaverse is gonna be like this in your personal assumption?
I'll cut in before I get into like predictions. I'll just cut into what you were saying as far as the space is big. A lot of stuff ain't out yet. You are going to get your naysayers, but I think just like you would go into any other project, as far as if it's a crypto project or NFT project, you have to have that same tools and research that you would with those going into any metaverse project. Now, I think we gave some solid ones today. I do have 2 other favorites like Sandbox and Decentraland, and only because they're already built out. Like because you just like crypto and NFT space, you have thousands being created, and promising XYZ in the future or this or that. Most of it is the same. But we are, for most of us that has been here long enough, a lot of those won't make it out, over time. So like the ones we mentioned, especially like Earth 2 and Upland, like those are working right now. Like you can go in those games And I don't know too much about it, but you can go into some of these games that we mentioned, and play these games, make money right away. Formulate a strategy and just go. There's not a lot of of the game token being dumped, so you're worried about you're losing out based off the time you're playing into the game. I think the tokenomics with ones that we mentioned today are pretty solid. And a lot of projects don't have that. They're trying to figure that out. So so before getting into the future, I would say for now, just be careful when doing research on projects. Don't get caught up into the hype and all the promises, because a lot of this stuff is going to take a long time to build out what they want to do. And that's why I like Upland, because they're promising a lot of stuff for their metaverse, but for now they have something working, and and along the way, everything they've been promised over this last year and some change, they've tackled and they've met those little deadlines, those short-term deadlines. So that's what's kept me bullish with this project. I'm continuing to earn, so there's nothing I can say there. So and that's what you want to look for. Make sure you look in for a game metaverse that has good tokenomics, that has a good future, that you could probably do something now. And then also don't try to spread yourself too thin, because it's a lot of benefit. Just like with any cryptocurrency or like one individual blockchain or NFT project, where if it's a good one, there's a lot of benefits just with that one. So definitely tap into their Discord, because for example, Upland Discord, is probably one of the livest Discords I've been in overall, because they have a 24-hour cafe where they have mods in there helping you, at any time with anything. And somebody's always in there with different strategies to help you or whatever. So it's definitely a nice community. There's always events going on. I've mentioned only a fraction of the stuff that you can do within that game, but again, just slow down, like how I usually said in the podcast. Take your time and just evaluate these projects, because there's a lot of them out there. They promising metaverse or giving you all the nice buzzwords, but they probably won't even meet half the stuff they say, or fraction stuff they say. They just just trying to a lot of them I think is a cash grab, or they just trying to copy something they seen somewhere else with idea, and probably won't work out too well for them. So definitely just pay mind to what you're getting into.
Just to piggyback off of more of what you said, definitely with the do your own research and do it heavy. I did say I was going to say why what I look for when I'm looking into metaverses. And metaverses, like you said, they promise, all of these metaverses, even the ones we're in, they promise a lot. And they promise major things. But the thing is, what I look for, because of course these things aren't built out yet. So what you look for is how they back those goals up for themselves. One thing with Earth 2, the founder of Earth 2, Shane Isaac, he's this person that loves games and has a background in technology. So it's just this dude don't have really experience in blockchain technology or tokenomics. So what does he do? He makes sure he hires an advisor from Binance to be able to help him with the tokenomics of the game. He partners with the blockchain Polygon Studios, and literally right after that, you see one of YouTube's top execs come over to become the CEO of Polygon Studios games. So it's just you look for those connections within the team. Don't just look for what the team is promising. See how they back up those promises. Who they bringing on to make sure that those promises are going to be fulfilled. What type of things are they implementing, and how they communicate with the community as well too. So I like Earth 2. They have weekly vlogs. They tell you the updates they're doing to the websites daily. And it's constant communication. Same thing with Human Park. The devs are in constant communication with you. If there are errors, there are going to be hiccups. Because remember, we all in the alpha stage. It's not even beta testing with all these things. So it's just you're going to see bugs and everything. So it's just don't panic also. But also don't just ape into anything. Do your research and don't spread yourself too thin. Because like you were saying too, all of these projects have ecosystems. So there's multiple ways to be able to make money within these rather than just buying properties and selling properties. You have different marketplaces like Earth2 has their jewels and resources and soon buildings and ad spaces that you'll be able to profit from. So it's just like, do your research. Like you said, we only told you a fraction of what these metaverses can do. So you definitely want to go in and do a lot more research and see what the benefits are. Because me personally, with my Earth2 properties, I plan on holding these for life. Like, these are something that I'm treating it like it's like real world property, because I know I'm bullish on it and I believe in the project and what it has to come. And so far, for me, holding it over a year, my property values have increased over 130%. So, like, just do your research and see what you like also, and see what you can manage or enjoy seeing every day. Don't just hop into it because you think you're going to make some money. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be thousands of these, and they all going to be able to make money in some way.
No, that's a fact. And just real quick, throw on there, like, I just to paint a picture real quick, and, you can take it however, but, like, I look at this as, like, like I said, you can take however, but, like, Columbus coming into a new world, somebody discovering a new world,
Yeah, we colonized the place literally.
That's why I said I didn't want to. You can take it however you want. But,
yeah.
But yeah, it's like somebody exploring a new world, and it's just nothing but open land, and it's like now you have an opportunity, just everything's up for grabs. It's like you pick your plot, whatever, and you think of it like even if it's America, and this was 400, 500 years ago, like this is us now. Right now this is us from like back then, where you're just picking your plot for these metaverses. Now, which metaverse you pick, that's going to be the thing. But, again, with that research, and if, you're seeing what they're doing, if you believe in the team, then, that can, probably be very rewarding for you down the road. So, some of these that we mentioned are definitely top in the game. Like, just off some data real quick, I always keep around, like, Upland is like number 1 on EOS blockchain, number 4 in games overall, and number 8 in general in volume, just off of just NFT metaverse projects. So, these are top projects that you don't want to look out. I've seen Earth2 a lot around the space. Upland, I've heard them mention in the Discord a few times. It's like potential competition, so I don't know exactly, but these are good projects. And like again, I mentioned Sandbox, Central Land. Those are great. A lot of people look at it as they're maybe being priced out because the land on there are pretty expensive. I mean, they took a drastic hit, so you could probably get land for probably maybe a couple $1,000s, but but those are, you could do a lot with those lands. You could build on it, flip it or rent it out. When I say build on it, you could build a club or a business and sell NFTs or have dancers in there or a casino or it's wild. You do that right now. So just like I said, picking the right one can take you a long way. And I just look at it as just having just a bunch of stuff to pick and being able to do what you want. So, like I said, just picking the right one, I think is key right now in this space. But, you have a lot of options. That's what we're here for. So, you always got the Discord to come and ask questions. And, we'll have a section for that, coming up. So definitely, look out for that or whatever.
Oh yeah, one thing to add, one last thing. I know a lot of y'all, because we're putting this on Twitter, I know a lot of y'all do not have Discords. Download Discords and set up a Discord profile. I can't stress the importance. If you're in the crypto space, you need to have a Discord. That's where you're going to be able to get whitelisted. You're going to be able to find out about new projects before you're seeing it on Twitter. This is where the core of your research is going to be majority of the time, and joining these communities as well. So if you do not have a Discord, get you a Discord profile.
That's a fact. That's our action item for the day. I was going to mention, do some research on different blockchain. I mean, metaverse projects or whatever. That's going to be one of them. But that's key also. So definitely get a Discord. Make sure you have a Discord and Twitter. So if you don't got those two combinations, and in the space, then you're missing out on a lot. Whatever, and because you at least want to be following the project that you're in for updates and stuff like that. So, like, we have an action item for the day is definitely get you a Discord, Twitter, and just maybe start researching some different metaverse projects that's out there. I will throw another link in there. I like to, I use a resource called DAP Radar, and you can go to the like metaverse section or whatever game section, and you can just check out different projects they have. The top projects by volume or by users or whatever. So or transactions. So you could definitely do that. But that is important to definitely having that Discord, because you won't know, you'll be out the loop with the project that you're invested in, and that don't really make too much sense. So you want to have it.
Yeah, Discord is where you get your insider information. The information that they're not posting on their social medias, on their Twitter, their Instagram, or their Facebooks. They post, honestly, a lot of these projects post very little compared to what they posted in their Discords. And that's where you get your insider information to help you create strategies and get the information, the real information you really need.
Right, and help with decision making too. You can gain roles in these Discords, and and that's where people have their complaints, or they give their feedback, and that helps with curating the project, especially now with it being all these projects still being built. So these projects do listen to their communities, and that's what, honestly, I think that's what Discord is for. So that's definitely important.
Yep, they're extremely community driven, all of them, every single one of these projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that's been said as far as like the Discords, the Twitters. I know you can do it on Facebook. Facebook is kind of, depending on what you post and everything, but I definitely recommend getting on Discord. If you haven't done that already, you do yourself a favor by doing that. But yeah, the metaverse in general, though, it's going to be definitely something that is going to be big in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Just the things that you're going to be able to do on it and everything. I know this is my last point as far as just the potential, as far as just a lot of things that you're going to be able to do as far as apply for jobs. You can be able to earn livings. I know Subway is starting stuff in the metaverse as far as you can work for Subway and have that stuff delivered to your house. I know Wendy's. There's a lot of fast food chains are trying to get into. Even you can get married in the metaverse. I know a couple has gotten married already in the metaverse. So it's like you could shop, meet, stores or whatever. I know Nike's building stuff over on Roblox. So it's going to be the stuff that you're going to be seeing coming out in the next, even 2 to 5 years are going to be crazy. But, I just wanted to make sure I cover that point and just everything that's been said. But I feel like, but I don't really want to prolong like the pod, but I feel like we definitely covered everything as far as in the metaverse. I mean, not everything that we could cover in this. I mean, we'd be on for hours, but just as far as that, did anybody have any closing remarks? All right, well, if anybody didn't have no closing remarks, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. We are the Addicted to the Game podcast. We cover all things metaverse, NFTs, all money-making opportunities in the cryptocurrency community, crypto space. And we'll see you in the next one. We out.
All right, later, y'all.